We've been talking about the recent measles outbreaks as well as the vaccine with a self-proclaimed measles vaccine crusader, Dr. Paul Offit, a vaccine-hesitant parent, Heather, and infectious disease expert, Dr. Ravina Kullar. Let's just talk a little bit about the alternative here, because a febrile seizure, which you see often in the emergency department, right? And it's hard to calm a parent and say, look, this is benign. It's very different when a child comes into a hospital and you're like, oh my gosh, this could be measles.
Yeah.
Or this could be all of the other infectious diseases that we've essentially eradicated. And I think it's important to talk about that briefly because again, that is what we have lost sight of here because we don't see it. The communities that have seen it, they realize how easily these illnesses or infectious diseases are transmitted from one child to the next. And Dr. Offit, feel free to jump in here. I think that is the part in this that everyone forgets about.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, going back, we need to keep in mind that measles is one of the most contagious infectious diseases worldwide. If someone that was infected walked into a room and coughed or sneezed, 90% of people in that room that were not vaccinated would get infected. And I want to remind you of what happened before the vaccine was even developed in 1963. According to the World Health Organization, over 2.6 million people died every year. That's a huge number. Are we going to revert back to that? There have already been 1,200 cases of measles that have come about, and we are not too far from the World Health Organization putting the United States on the list where we have not eliminated measles. That puts us on the same list as developing countries. How embarrassing to the US would that be? And how just taking a step back would that be for us? So I think that's a huge point that we really want to focus on.
And one of the last comments I'll make, because again, we're not going to, if you're on one extreme or the other here, you're still going to have questions. Have that conversation with your child's pediatrician. But one of the most powerful things you can do in medicine, and I do this when I'm a patient, if I'm seeing a doctor, I'll say, Doc, what do you do? And I think it's a telltale sign that if you talk to pediatricians, except for a few who've been way too publicized, who, in my opinion, are using the anti-vaccine movement to profiteer, to promote themselves. You talk to any reputable pediatrician, and they will say, yes, I vaccinate my children. Because if they weren't willing to do it to their child, I would hope they wouldn't be willing to do it to their patients.
We're all physicians, and there is nothing that we do in medicine that doesn't have potential risks. And for some unknown reason to me, I don't know why vaccines have been picked as a target, as a punching bag, as something that's bad, where there's so many other things. Medications all have side effects. Procedures can go wrong, yet we do them all the time because the benefits far outweigh the risks. And that's the case for vaccines.
Well said, well said. And Heather, I want to thank you for coming on today as a concerned mother, sharing your opinion. Dr. Offit, really appreciate you, all the work that you're doing. Dr. Kullar, thank you as well for offering your perspective. We'll have more resources on our website, thedoctorstv.com.